Another week has gone past. I just thought of doing a couple of things. One is to just recap on some of the learning outcomes, the portfolio, show where we're at on that basis, and then I'll go through what we did last night. So I just opened the diploma course guide. If I scroll down to the units, so we got trade unions and the changing nature of law. So all of that should have been covered with your activities that you would have uploaded or emailed to me last term. This term we're doing employment law and the individual for trade union representatives, and that covers several sort of aspects. So we got 1.1, describe how a contract of employment is formed. So the evidence is on week 13, and that's to do with formation of a contract. So basically I need you to describe how a contract of employment is made, who can make it, and then explain things like what is expressed, what is implied. And that will help you meet 1.1 and 1.2. 1.3 has got variation of contract. Now that we did the following week, which is looking at an activity where we did a game. Some of you might remember, basically describe some of the case studies there, about 3, and then explain in terms of the legal advice that you're asked to research. We did an activity on termination of contract, so I need you to describe the different ways that a contract might terminate, and again I need a sort of short paragraph on each of those descriptions. 2.2 is the activity on fair and unfair dismissal, which again I need you to explain. In fact, if in that activity you cover redundancy, that will help you meet 2.3. 3.1 we're going to do in a couple of weeks' time on discrimination law, and then 4.1 and 4.2 is a bit of a floating sort of 2 assessment criteria. So that could be the activity we did last night, any of the activities that the 2 activities for this week could help you meet that, and that's it. As far as the criteria is concerned, if I go over to where we're at, so week 13 has got the contract of employment law, formation. Week 14, how a contract can be changed. Week 15 has got the termination activity. Week 16 has got the unfair dismissal, but you might need to cover redundancy. 17 and 18 we talk about research methods and the project. And what we did last night was union representation, which was actually a domino activity, but if I download, you can run the domino at home if you want, or not. Basically the way it works is, so that's the activity sheet giving instructions. You've got these cards, and then in each card is sort of numbered, so in theory they would be tiered up like dominoes, and you lay them down in numerical order, and then it says C question 1, C question 2, etc. That relates to the questionnaire sheet. So let me show you the sorts of questions according to ACAS. What is the purpose of the disciplinary procedure? You know, and where you find this research is, if I close this, or if I click on where you submit, is you've got the ACAS code of practice and the ACAS guide. I've also done LRD, guide to disciplinary, you can also download. So once you've completed that, you can submit your completed worksheet, and that will probably help you meet 4.1 and 4.2. There's another activity to do, which is called early conciliation, and basically for that there's an activity. So early conciliation was introduced by the previous Condemn coalition. It's now something that you need to do before you go to an employment tribunal, because next week we're going to look at the process of an employment tribunal in preparation for the 19th, which is the visit. So basically using the resource provided, which is basically the code of practice. There's also a guide, but you can find that in the ACAS website. Let me go back to this. Is to answer those questions. And again, this might help you meet 4.1 and 4.2. Although I'm urging everyone to do both activities. And that's it for this week. Hope you get to catch up with a lot of your work. You know, we've got another month or so. And you know, clearly I would want everyone to be as up to date, plus also have some sort of definitive idea about what your end of course project come report will be. Alright, brilliant. Speak to you soon. Bye.